Okay. Okay. Hold on, my headset's on. Huh? Oh, yeah, yeah. They only take like 20 minutes, and I went to the gym. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, with her phone, man, she only has like 2 gigs worth of data, and it's being transferred over a USB C, which is like something like 5 gigs a second. So it really comes down to the processor being able to pack it up and then it being transferred over. So it just didn't take long. Only limited is the processor in that case. Yeah. I'm gonna get the rest of the dailies done, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I might just be like, yeah, I'll run you through. Let's run you through, get you through some keys. I honestly don't know right now. I'll be honest with you, dude. I got my father-in-law sitting upstairs because the guy's pretty basically on his deathbed. We're remodeling his house so that he can go home and he can take a shit whenever he needs to because his body is getting rid of toxins at an exponential rate to he'll get up 3 or 4 times at night to go take a shit. So it's yeah. I mean, he's not gonna survive this. Um, the guy lost 70 pounds in 1 month due to he just got rid of his hepatitis C, and they took 3 quarters of his liver out, so he's only sitting with a little bit of his liver left. They can, he's in his 70s, a lot of drug use, a lot of problems, a lot of health problems that are just gonna stop his progression uh, very soon. It is what it is, man. My mom, I mean, he had skin cancer and got through that. This was cirrhosis of the liver? Cirrhosis? Yeah. I mean, they took the affected part out of him, but he's like because of his drug use and the fact that he had Hep C, he doesn't qualify for a liver replacement plus his age. He doesn't qualify for transplant. So again, it just is what it is. Just honestly is what it is. Um, I mean, he knew that he wasn't going to live into his 90s. My whole family. This is my wife's family. I'm just trying to hopefully support her through that. But this has costed me. God, at this point, yeah, this has costed me like a lot of actual monetary money too. It's definitely costed me a lot of money. Honestly, I don't make any money on streaming. Yeah, but when you consider how much money I've put into streaming, I am still at a deficit. So I'm not saying that I make $0. My patrons give me some money. I made a good bit of money when I did that, but so far have yet to turn a profit where it's a self-sustaining business. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, hopefully Shade usually rebounds. I just get tired of him like overreacting on the kid's like I don't know if he's bisexual or what, but he'll talk to himself about how he's gay, how he's bisexual, and then he'll turn right around and if anybody even suggests he's one of those things, he'll flip the fuck out. And I get tired of his attitude about it, and it's like, dude, you like the D, and it's okay, and nobody cares, except you, except you. So yeah, I mean he bounces back, and the kid loves like tomorrow is community day, in the morning, which is like an open mic. So everybody comes in and talks shit and has fun and reacts to the viewers and what they say. All of the viewers are actually welcome in, so everybody can just talk directly to me. People really seem to love that day. So Eventually, it'll just be the Patreons that get to do it. I think probably when I'm sitting around 12 to 15 patrons, guys that are giving me monthly donations, solid monthly donations, I'll probably just limit it to those people who can come in and talk. Yeah. I mean, I want to get it done. I don't feel like I've completed a raid until I get it done. Um, yeah, it looks like I've been keeping an eye on that guild that fell apart with mine. It looks like a few players came back. I'm not going back there ever again. I just didn't have the respect. No, I don't have the respect. Right? Like it doesn't matter. I was one of their top 3 DPS and they still would not recognize me. Like if you asked them who was your best DPS, it wouldn't hit. Like I literally proved it numbers wise. I took the least amount of damage and I was number 3 on the meters, like in not just in overall, but on if you just limited to the bosses. I was number 1, 2, or 3 on every single boss, and they still would not recognize me as a good raider, nor would they ask me to go on any of their Mythic Plus runs. Because and yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. You ever been in a job where you just get a reputation for being a certain way, and then everybody thinks about you that way, and you can, unless there's a whole new management crew, you can never get out of that. It doesn't matter how you improve. Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's just it's difficult to change someone's mind about you. So, and that's really what it came down to, was I could never change their mind about me. So it was time. It was time. It was time to leave. I was honestly looking to leave them one way or the other. I am so glad I watched that tank leave though instead and watched him fail. I, oh, dude, that guy can't keep that. I wish. I wish. Yeah, he was looking for a guild. He's trying to build his own guild, but you cannot build a guild when your attitude towards people is you are here for my betterment. Not a sustaining guild. You cannot keep people together like that. And people will stick with you if you're willing to sacrifice for them. But he believes that people should sacrifice for him. And it's not something he says consciously, but in his actions. And I'll give you an idea. He would sit back and bitch about some of the DPS only pulling 2k, 2.5k, right, on bosses. And our average was 3.5, right, across all the bosses. 3.5 across most of our people, except we had a few people who were really lagging behind, having a really rough time. He would bitch about it, but anytime those people who he was complaining about would reach out and like, hey, would you come run this 5 key with me, he would let them know, I'm not tanking that for you. I don't do anything less than a 9. So go get a 9 and then I might help you. And then when they would go get a 9, which would take them all week because they're just a DPS and they have to pug everyone, right? They have to pug every one of them. Then he'd be like, well, your IO level is not high enough for me. And yeah, I mean, the thing of it is that he's not in a frame of mind to be a leader. So let's say that he gets a 15 man together. He's going to hire people that are just like him, because you have a tendency to think, this is the way that I do it. It works for me, therefore I should get people that are more like me, or people that I like, which have a tendency to think about the game the same way that you think about the game. And then guess what happens? It falls apart. Hey, what's up, Lum? It falls apart because they're a bunch of assholes. What's up, man? How you doing? But yeah, I mean, that just is what it is. And when I was streaming it, like people were asking me, "How you doing, man?" People were asking me like, why don't you suggest something? And I told them flat out. I told them flat out. I was like, I'm not gonna suggest anything because these guys are a bunch of assholes. I wouldn't suggest anything. Like, no, these guys are assholes. I'm not gonna suggest shit to them. They don't take my word anyway. What's Elam? How you doing, man? How's your week? I haven't seen you in a little bit. How was your holidays? I don't think I've seen you since before Christmas. Yeah, everybody took kind of went on hiatus for Christmas. But y'all are coming back a little bit at a time. Got another community day coming up tomorrow. If you want to show up for it, of course are more than welcome. More than welcome. Oh, you know what? I didn't even turn on the game. You can't even see what I'm doing. Yep. Oh, I was just talking. Half what I do is just talking. Dude, finished up Alan Wake. You missed the ending. Trust me, whatever's in your head is way better than what the actual ending was. Started a new game, Haven, and I'm just grinding out with my my warlock again, trying to get some I don't know, some dailies done. Just some pretty easy dailies done. How you been, man? Did you have a good holiday season? Did you go anywhere? Do anything? Do anything special? Did you propose as good as you can have? I got you. I got you. Did you make any little elams while you were gone? That's like the thing to do, right? When it's cold outside. Make little people. Stay in, have the sussy time. Gotta have the sussy time. Oh. I'm shaking bad, but it was a good gym session. Yeah, yesterday, I hit the cardio machine, man. I hit that hard. Like I was feeling it. Like my lungs were feeling it all the way until I went to bed. See, I haven't figured out how to do mitosis, so no mitosis. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Makes sense. Makes sense. But yeah, man, all the way to I went to bed. I was just my chest, everything just hurt. Everything hurt. Oh my god. Yeah. I do not know, but I can tell you that most of the guys who are doing Mythic were sitting around 16 to 18% haste, and I'm only sitting at 14. Well, I was sitting at 10%, which I knew was way too much or way too little. Like it was very obvious that that was way too little. Just in the cast time. I was hitting hard because I had like 60% mastery. But if I had to venture guess, I don't think they gave us a haste cap because I don't think if you got every piece with haste on it, that yeah, I mean as it sits right now, I haven't seen anything written on it. Let me check Icy Veins. See, honestly, where you at, Elam? Are you back on lockdown? We're not on lockdown. Honestly, I wouldn't even. I guess it really wouldn't interrupt my life. But we're not on lockdown because I just got back from the gym. Gym would be one of the first places they'd lock down. You don't know anymore? I mean, I'm not. I can tell you that. Let's just go Destruction Warlock. Intellect is supposed to be key, like the #1 stat, but then you got haste. Haste is slightly better than mastery, but not by much. But let's see here. Doesn't say anything about a cap. Stat rankings updated following December 3rd. This is December 3rd. It's not showing a... Hey, you. Be quiet. So you don't know. It basically gave up on trying to follow it, and I'm waiting on my vaccine. Hey, I got you. I don't know if I want to take the vaccine right away. I'm not anti-vax at all. I'm not anti-vaccine at all. I want to make that clear. But I am a little wary about a vaccine that was developed inside of a year that people are so desperate to get. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I have a me personally, I have a 99.999999999% chance of surviving it. I am in favor of my father-in-law taking that vaccine. Yeah, I don't trust the government or any governmental agency that tells me don't worry about vaccines. Anybody the yeah. Yeah, I mean it honestly I'm gonna not probably not gonna take it for the first little while. I would say for the first 4 or 5 years. Huh? There's a good chance half the people that get COVID are asymptomatic. Okay, the yeah. Yeah, there's a lady that lives in my house that has it. Hold on. There's a lady that lives in my house. She's a carrier, so she'll never not have it. She has it permanently, but she can't get it. She can't. She doesn't have a strain that goes through the air. Is what they said. So take that for what it's worth, right? I mean I don't understand this disease. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to understand this disease. I don't. I mean, yeah, but I do know this. Statistically speaking, I have a better chance of getting struck by lightning and dying than getting this disease and dying. Statistically speaking, I literally have a better chance of dying from lightning than I do from COVID. So I am in no rush. And if somebody gets the vaccine, then what that's supposed to do is make it so that if I get it, they shouldn't be in trouble. Literally the point to vaccines. So I don't see a reason why I should have to take it. Oh god, that's ridiculous. Okay. Haste cap for Destro block. Oh, that's in BFA. I don't want BFA. Shadowlands. Until they well, I'll reassess. I will reassess every week, but as it sits right now, yes, I'm going to stay Destro because both in practice and on the Sims, I'm doing more DPS single target with Destro. Okay, obviously I need to get this. I need to finish this quest. You know what? Actually, hold on. There we go. I'm trying to figure this. It's not showing any soft cap at all. It is highlighting mastery. No, it's not saying anything. It just says intellect, haste. Haste is slightly better than mastery, and then crit and versatility are basically not worth it. Demo is haste at the top with intellect. But yeah, I mean it's not. I mean maybe you can look it up. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. See, isolate from your old mom. Yeah, I mean, my mom comes over. She's gonna be getting the vaccine. Makes perfect sense to me that she will get the vaccine. She is in her early 70s,
and she needs and she's a cancer survivor. So it makes perfect sense to me that she would get the vaccine. It doesn't make any sense to me that I would. And like I said, I just don't, you can sit back and I don't trust the government at all. So I am an individual who I just don't.
Welcome.
Why do you think I don't trust the government anymore?
I would
And I
wager
was in the military.
many dark secrets.
No, it's not that. I mean, I did my job, but here's what I will tell you about all governments, right? The United States government has not been for a very long time a servant of the people. The government is a servant of who's going to make the most money and get them represented in Parliament and the House and the Senate and at the top if they can hack it. Okay? And if you don't believe me, you can look and see what's happening to Trump right now. Trump was a very critical person of all social media platforms, right? And he got simultaneously banned. And then what's always the retort to that? If you don't like the way a social media platform is run, then you should go and make your own. So what did Parler do? Parler went and got their own, and guess what those big corporations did? Those big corporations then got Parler banned, and they attacked their means of being able to be a platform. Okay, so this isn't this is, and I don't view this as a right versus left argument. In my opinion, this is not a liberal versus conservative argument. This is big corporations with a monopoly taking out the competition, because Parler was the number one competition for Twitter, and they were the number one trending for the past month on Twitter, or on the Google Play Store and the Apple Play Store. And there's a reason why. Okay, they took them out very easily, and you can also see these big corporations do that. If you look at the way the DCMA license, did you know that if you break DCMA now, it's a not only is it a federal offense, but it's a felony. So if you play music or if you play a clip of a movie online, it is a felony. You know what they attached that to? You remember your $600 check, right? They literally attached that bill to make violating DCMA a felony onto the COVID relief fund. No shit. That was one of the 5,000 pages. What does that have to do with COVID relief? Why are we sending money to foreign agencies? And again, it's because these guys, their mindset is, I need to get reelected. Right? Whether it's Republican or Democrat, I need to get reelected. We have people who are in their 80s in these places. Their whole mindset is surrounding it. We just elected a guy who has an obvious dissemination in mental cognitive ability. Not a slight one, an obvious one, because big corporations told us the other guy was evil. But if you go and you ask people, just like, hey, give me one policy that Trump actually put in place, maybe less than half the people that you ask that will actually be able to tell you what he did in office. Right? And again, not a right versus left thing. Not. It is just, it's big corporations taking advantage of our own ignorance. And I don't like that. And our government is infected with people who cater to this. In my opinion, the government should be the servitude, and I know I'm gonna get off my soapbox here in just a second, but that's the reason why I don't trust the government. I don't have a grand conspiracy theory. I just think it's a bunch of corporations trying to make money, and the way that you do that is you quash the competition in any way you can, and by doing that, you can hire people in Congress, you can buy them, and you can keep them, and they do it all. And we know this to be true. These aren't unknown things. I don't think there's a vast conspiracy theory, but I don't know, recently there seems to be a vast conspiracy theory. It seems kind of weird to watch Trump, the president of the United States, be banned from all social media platforms and then have one of his own tweets deleted. That is scary to think that these guys wield that kind of power. It's scary to me. Okay, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. Back to more fun things. I hate this quest. Yeah, it's not funny. It's not funny. Oh my god, it's scary as shit. It's scary as shit. That's not even politics. That's just big corps doing what big corps do, man. It's just big corporations do what they do. I don't know if it's stealing if we're giving it to them in droves. Well, that's exactly what they did, but I think it's more into it. So people were attaching stuff to that bill. The reason why that bill went from 2 pages to 5,000 pages is because a guaranteed bill to make it through. And the reason why it's a guaranteed bill is because it's going to give us money. And they knew that anybody said no to this bill, all the media had to do, all they had to do was go onto media or social media and say, oh, so-and-so doesn't want to give you money. Like, they knew this for a fact, because what happened to, what was the guy's, Mitch McConnell, when he got in the way of $2,000, his name was plastered everywhere. Nobody sat down and said why he was getting in the way, but everybody knew it was his fault, right? So they knew if you were the one person, so they were attaching everything they could to that bill. Dude, they gave $20 billion to gender studies in Pakistan. What the fuck does gender studies in Pakistan have to do? No, they do that. They give them that money. No, they don't need to cover up anything in the military. Everybody knows we're shady. That we do not need to hide that from you. I will give you a clue. Did you know that you can literally go on and see all the past Black Ops operations? Y'all don't give a shit that much. You don't care. Did you not notice that in the past 5 years, the U.S. government has literally admitted that they believe that we've been that we have been visited by UFOs? That they've released all of their records on all the UFOs they've seen? You don't even know that, do you? It's all been released, man. Y'all don't care. We don't care. Everybody knows we're shady. I've been on Black Ops operations myself. I can talk. You want to hear about them? I am under no obligation to keep it secret. What do you want to know? So I'm telling you, we don't need to cover that shit up, man. I'll straight up, my uncle was in counter-espionage. He'll tell you some cool stories. He's under no obligation to keep it secret. Nice. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's been so many things. It was weird to watch the government actually say, yeah, no, there's UFOs. And Frontline news was something bad about Trump. Well, yeah, but Pakistan, Pakistan, Iran, quite a few have come out. Even the UK has come out and like, yeah, we don't know what these things are. They haven't been able to identify them. They've literally been like, look, we just don't know what these are. We just don't know what these are. I've been keeping tabs on that. I like to at night. I like to fall asleep to things like Ancient Aliens and whatnot. So I like to keep tabs on these kind of stupid. I would say that it is more likely that, numerically speaking, the probability that there is not other intelligent life in the universe is very, 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 very low. Probability. Now, then the question becomes, have they been here or not? That one I don't know. Possibility. Well, there is an equation that has been developed by a mathematician, and he postulates that the probability that if you took just the known universe that we know right now with one intelligent civilization, and then you expanded it to just this universe, just the one that, or just the galaxy that we're in, there is a very small chance that there is less than 1,200 and I think 52 intelligent species inside of our galaxy alone. That it's a very, 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 very low chance that there is not, and there's a very good chance that there is more than that. But even with that high number, with as much spaced out, we could literally be here and never even know each other existed, never even see each other through a telescope. I'm not entirely certain that's true, because we thought that about the speed of sound, and then we found a way to support the body at the speed of sound. So I don't, like, from my understanding is there is a mathematical equation right now that has proven that we can go past the speed of light, but not in speed, more in, how do I put this, more like bending space is what they said. Now I don't know. I'm not that smart. I don't pretend to be that smart. From my understanding, so think of the way that it was explained to me, right? When I watched this, think of time and space as a piece of paper. You're not teleporting from one side to the next. You are physically bending time and space in half and then just passing through. So you wouldn't be destroying matter and creating matter. You would be like you walking down the street, but your step happens to be very large because of the way time and space is developed at that moment. Kind of like a wormhole, I think, would be the colloquial term. But like I said, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying is if there are aliens and they have visited us, which I would be, for me it's like, yes, this is obviously going to be other intelligent life in the world, and if they have visited us, then they figured it out, and so can we. The world was what? Yeah. Well, not knowing what you don't know, I don't think I mean, ignorance in the sense of they just didn't know what they didn't know, but I wouldn't say ignorance in the sense of an insult. Well, from what they observed, we look like we're the center. If you just stood on your front porch and looked up, it kind of looks like we are. And of course, we were, you know, looks like, you know, it's an observable universe. God knows what we'll know. Oh my gosh, I can't, you know. Right now, I honestly, we're where I want to see us expand. Me personally, where I want to see us expand into virtual reality a bit more. Have you ever watched Sword Art Online? You ever watched that? I have a VR. You have Oculus. I got the Rift. I don't want the Quest. I mean, I'll probably get the new Rift that came out, the Rift S. But I had this before the Quest came out, so I'm one of the guys who was a beta tester for this. I don't like the way that they went with the controllers. I don't like the way you guys' controllers are made up. I like the controllers that came with the Rift over the ones that came with the Quest. But if you look at the HTC Knuckles, oh my god, they won. All 5 independent fingers are tracked. It is so cool. All 5 independent fingers are tracked. That will so if you haven't watched Sword Art Online, the idea is this, that the helmet interrupts the connection between your brain and the rest of your body, and then redirects it to the actual helmet itself, and the helmet provides the sensory input. So you basically go to sleep and you're looking around, but all of your muscle movements are stopped, and it feels like you're inside the program. The program's giving you sensory perception back. Scary. I think there's a safe way to do it, but this is also something that Elon Musk has been trying to do. I mean, the guy's crazy as shit, but this is something that he's been trying to get done as well, where you implant a chip into your brain, and instead of the sensory perception going from your brain to your body, it's interrupted, and it's redirected to a different area. It's redirected to a different place. So think if you could play, huh? Yeah, probably. But I mean, that's some pioneer shit right there. I mean, that's some pioneering shit right there. But this is in development. Probably by the time, I mean, think about if you were a vegetable, but your brain was still like, not a vegetable, but your body was destroyed, but your brain was still active. This gives people reason to live, or rehabilitation and whatnot. Like, that's huge. It's huge. Like, I would be happy to be on board with something like that. Right? I mean, think if you could be in World of Warcraft. You be your character. That would be so much fun. But I've had a lot of fun with I've got the Vader series. I did Half-Life Alyx, probably the best VR game I've ever played in my life. Phasmophobia, if you haven't played that. Very fun game. If you don't have that yet, I would suggest grab up Phasmo. Grab up Phasmophobia. It's like $13 full VR, and you go and you're hunting ghosts. Scary as shit. Scary as shit. So much fun. And you can play it with 4 people. They don't need VRs to play it with you either. I've been wanting to play the new beta of it, but it's bringing my computer down to like just a couple frames a second. I'm not sure what's going on with their beta, but I went from my computer will max out the graphics for World of Warcraft and have 120 frames per second. Let's see.
Why would anyone walk anywhere? Remember, a safe flight is a boring flight.
You know, of all of these areas, I think I like Revendreth the least. Really? They did say something about it in either point 1 or point 2. But I would say in getting ready for it, you probably want everything exalted. Let's see. What is this? Oh, this is the quest I'm turning in?
All goods and services for sale.
I need one more coin. I believe it. There was so many people complaining about the advice that was given to Blizzard. I don't know if you watch Preach Gaming. So he's one of the, I would say he's a big advisor. He's probably one of the biggest World of Warcraft. He's gaming now, but he does a lot of World of Warcraft like stuff. And one of the things that he told Blizzard, because he does interviews with them directly, and this was parroted among most big streamers and content creators for World of Warcraft, was that gear didn't feel significant anymore. And it was a ratio between, Titan forging and, yeah, the Titan forging and then having too much of it, basically, was the argument, that you have too much of it, right? So, that's what they did. They took away Titan forging and they took away rolls so that it would reduce down. They even said at the beginning, it's like, look, you're gonna get gear much less quickly than than the last 2 expansions, which honestly I kind of feels better, because when I get an upgrade, like this week when I got an upgrade, you know what? No, it's really slow, and I don't feel like It does give me time to progress my character, which is nice, but it doesn't. Like, I really don't see a huge difference between me getting an MBFA and me getting it now. I'll be honest with you. I don't see a difference personally, but I can tell you that other people are like, well, yeah, it feels like my upgrades are significant now. I don't understand it. To be very honest, I don't understand it at all. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I get that I do pay more attention to what I get. That's for sure. I do pay more attention to what I get. That's cool. I didn't know that, so that's pretty cool. That's a good idea. Oh, fuck me. Okay, well. I guess that's one way to get down. Cool. How much is that worth? I need to go hand that in too. Okay. Is that a rare? How much health does that rare have? 76,000? Alright, we're gonna fuck him up. I get it now. Oh, nice. That works.